Hi kindergartners, welcome back. It is time to do our K is for Kite project. Last week we talked about jellyfish and we talked about J is for jellyfish, and today K is for kite. And so we are going to make some kites. So before we get started, grab something to color with and start making a background for your kite picture. So I am just going to do maybe some sky. I'm gonna color some sky, and I have a couple different blues. So I think I'm gonna try out a few different color blues to do my project. Ooh, yeah, that's fun. And if you want to add a sun in the sky, you can add a sun in the sky. And just keep coloring. Or if you have a blue piece of paper, you could do this on a blue piece of paper too and skip maybe the coloring step. Some of my students wanted to pretend they were flying their kite on the beach, and so they drew the beach and the waves and stuff first, and that's pretty cool. So whatever you want. I'm going to kind of do a mixed blue, so I have a couple different blues mixed together for my picture. Just so I have a nice pretty blue background. It doesn't have to be blue, I just want my sky to be blue today. Alright, then what we have next is for the projects here, I have all these scrap bins of just extra paper. So maybe you guys have some extra paper lying around, some just scraps and bits of color. And so I'm going to start with yellow, but you do not have to. You can use any color you want to make the kite. And what we're going to do is first you are going to draw, I should ask you first, what shape is a kite? What shape is a good shape for a kite? I'm going to draw it and then see if you can name it. It's a diamond. A diamond, and mine got a little funny because it's got a bump underneath. But yeah, you can see this is a diamond shape. If you cut it in half, what two shapes do you have? Triangles, right? And sometimes diamonds, if you turn them, what shape do you get? It's kind of like a square, right? So diamonds are a fun shape to do. If doing a diamond is too hard, what sometimes I suggest is just drawing two triangles. So you draw a triangle, flip it around, and draw another triangle. And that's another way that you can make a diamond. And then again, if you want to have that kite shape, you can draw that line down the middle to make it look a little bit more like a kite. Then all you have to do is take your scissors and cut them out. So you are going to need colors, maybe some papers, some scissors, and some glue today. And in a minute, I'll show you a different option. Maybe. All right, so there's one of my kites. And I'm gonna do two kites, and I'm gonna make them both yellow today. But you could do your kite any colors you want. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, pink, beige, whatever you want. There's my second kite. And I'm gonna take my glue and stick them down. I'm gonna put the bigger one over here, smaller one underneath. Notice I put my glue on the kite, not on the paper. When you put your glue on the paper, we always end up with extra glue and then our pages can stick together. But if you put the glue just on the kite, then the glue only goes where we want it to and it makes everything a little less messy. All right, then you can take something to color with, and I like to make my kite strings. And then I think it's fun to make like little bows on my kite strings. You can have your kite have more than one string, so it's like streamers going down. That would be pretty as well. And then, there you go, you're done. K is for kite. K is for kite. And if you have more space on your paper and you want to make more kites, you can. A couple other things we're going to show you. Is if you have white scraps of paper, you can take some of those white scraps and you could cut out some fluffy clouds to put in your sky. And if it's too hard to just cut them, you can always draw your clouds first and then cut them out. But you can add some really pretty clouds in the sky. Also, if you don't have colored paper or if drawing diamonds is too hard and you have a printer at home, I made these diamonds just on Google Docs and I printed those off too, so then you could color these whatever color you want and then cut them out and then glue them down. So there's another option for you today when you're making your kites. You do not have to make them just like I made them. If you have a different way to make kites, you go ahead. I've also made kites with tissue paper, and that's lots of fun. You could make kites with maybe some scraps if your family does scrapbooking and they have some patterned scrapbooking paper, or even wrapping paper is fun to do art projects with. We don't always think of it as an art material, but it is a lot of fun to make things out of. So wrapping paper is a good option, maybe if you have some of that laying around at home. Just think of creative ways to use what you already have to make some cool projects. Even like a brown paper bag, you could color that and make it into a kite. Newspaper, you could cut shapes and colors out of magazines. So just in case you don't have all these art supplies, find creative ways to still be able to do the projects and still have a lot of fun, and maybe even recycle along the way. Alrighty guys, I'll talk to you next week when we will do letter L. What do you guys think L is going to be for? Let's wait and see.